Hi friends, how are you all? So it's been a long time that I have posted a video or I have shared my thoughts and views in the channel. So today I just picked up a nice book. It says Sudha Murthy, Grandma's Bag of Stories. It's a nice book. All of you can pick this storybook from the market or from a bookstore or online. So we'll just start with our reading classes. So I'll just turn the pages. It's always good to read from the beginning to know about the author and what they have in store in this book. So let's read through the first few pages. Okay, just a moment. Okay, let's read. Puffin Books, Grandma's Bag of Stories. Sudha Murthy was born in 1950 in Shigaon in North Karnataka. She did her MTech in computer science and is now the chairperson of the Infosys Foundation. Her prolific writer in English and Kannada. She has written novels, technical books, travelogues, travelogues, collections of short stories and non-fiction pieces, and 4 books for children. Her books have been translated into all major Indian languages. Sudha Murthy was the recipient of the R.K. Narayan Award for Literature and the Padma Shri in 2006 and the Attimabe Award from the Government of Karnataka for Excellence as Kannada Literature in 2011. So here we see few difficult words like Shigon, prolific, travelogus, Attimabe. So yeah, we can make note of these verses. Though they are not that common, those are like some difficult words. Okay, now we'll move on. Okay, we'll see the author's note. Let's read. Author's note. My grandmother Krishna, popularly known as Krishtaka, Krishtaka, was very bright and affectionate. She was also a great storyteller. She never gave us any sermons but taught the values of life through her stories. Those stories and values remain with me even now. I spent my childhood carefree, stress free with my cousins and grandparents at my hometown, Shigaon, a sleepy town in North Karnataka. We shared everything there, whatever we had, and that became a great bond among us cousins. The binding force was my grandmother. I made some changes when I wrote the stories in this book, but mostly it is a true reflection of my childhood. When my granddaughter Krishna was born, she elevated me to the position of grandmother. I realized more than ever the importance of stories and how they help children to learn. Hence, this book, I hope with these stories, children and parents will understand the unique relationship between 3 generations and will continue to create bonds of love with one another and the older generations in their families. I would like to thank Penguin Books India, who are always eager to publish my work. I would also like to thank Sudeshna Shom Ghosh, who became a good friend apart from being my editor in my journey of writing in the last decade. Sudha Murthy, Bangalore. So we'll see the contents, the lessons, or the chapters, or whatever has been shared. So, first lesson is the beginning of the stories. Let's open. Yeah. The beginning of the stories. So, this is the first chapter. Summer holidays. Ajji smiled to herself as she waited for 2 more of her grandchildren to arrive. Raghu and Meenu would be here soon. Anand and Krishna had already arrived with their mother the previous evening. They had been waiting restlessly for their cousins to arrive ever since. Even though Ajji told them Raghu and Meenu would be here the next morning, these two kids just would not listen. They went to the railway station with their grandfather Ajja to receive them. The train must have pulled into the tiny railway station of Shigon by now, and their grandfather would have hired a taxi to bring them home along with their mother and the stacks of luggage. I'll turn the next page. Okay. Ajji hurried through her bath. She had finished cooking their favorite dishes and was now wearing a nice soft cotton sari before going to the veranda to wait for them. There they came. What a noise the children were making. They all nearly tumbled out of the car and came leaping and shouting to her, each wanting to be the first to be hugged by her. Each one wanted to be closest to Ajji. So the children settled down. A visit to Ajji and Ajja's house meant first inspecting the garden to see how much the plants had grown since they last came. Then they went to check on the cows, calves, dogs, pups, cats, and kittens. Then they all ate huge quantities of Ajji's delicious food. Finally, while their mothers went off to chat and rest, the children gathered around their grandmother for the best part of the holiday, listening to her wonderful stories, particularly in the late afternoon. Let us two gather under the fast revolving fan on a mat on the floor, fighting to be nearest to her and listen in. So, this is Ajji, this is her grandchildren, this is a dog, a nice picture. So, this ends the chapter over here, and the next chapter starts. So, we'll see this chapter tomorrow. So, please read along with me before you sleep. Do not forget to do journaling, and then do read this, and do have a good night's sleep and keep practicing. As I told you, English is not learnt in few days or months or years. It's a practice, lifetime practice, and that's what I'm also doing. So I'll see you again tomorrow in the next video. Thank you all.